What up, world? It's your guy BA for Real 100, and welcome to Get Your Bars Up Media. Salute, salute, salute. First and foremost, before we get into this, make sure you hit that like button. And if it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Why? Because the content is dope and it's free. And I know y'all here for that free as well. But today, we must talk about how one particular verse by Kendrick Lamar shifted the culture. March 22nd, 2024, Future and Metro Boomin decide to tag team and actually make a record, actually make a whole album, getting back at Drake for whatever particular reason. So, of course, they decide to link up with people like ASAP Rocky, who is, of course, connected through Drake, through Rihanna. He had a little situation with Drake. The Weeknd, which is another artist who we didn't know had a situation with Drake, but apparently he did. But ultimately, with Kendrick Lamar. Now, if you haven't heard the Like That, which everybody, the whole world should know that, because not only is that track jamming, but Kendrick went pretty crazy. And from this verse, it sparked a whole bunch of controversy. And it was just all about hip-hop, right? At least that's what we thought at first. In this particular verse on Like That, Kendrick goes on to say, "Nigga F the big three, nigga it's just big me," which was the line that actually opened up the door to this new era of diss tracks. Now, don't get me wrong, you always had the very disrespectful diss tracks from especially this Chicago drill music, the Jacksonville drill music, the New York drill music, where they getting at people crazy. But that was a little bit super personal, where this one started off as just, I rap better than you and y'all not better than me. Going off of the First Person Shooter, which was a fire track, by the way, by Drake and J. Cole. But J. Cole did say the big three, people thought it was paying homage to the holy trinity of hip hop, which people would say is Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. But no, I guess Kendrick didn't take it that way, especially with another line that he said, particularly in the verse, when he said, "A Prince outlived Mike Jack," and then he said, "Nigga bum," calling them both bums. We definitely know who he was shooting at. But from there, this is when it gets a little crazier, and this is when the pressure gets to Mr. J. Cole. Come to the front of the stage, sir. J. Cole, with all the pressures of the world, then drops the 7-minute drill, and from here, he actually goes a little crazy. He starts off slow, but then he starts getting into it, and the beat actually changes, and he starts talking to Kendrick's soul. He starts trying to talk to Kendrick's soul. And this is what we all anticipated. Everybody was like, yeah, come on, I can't wait. Hey, Drake, you stay away. You stay away, Drake. But hey, J. Cole, you talk your ish. And J. Cole went in and did what he was supposed to do. He jabbed. And next thing you know, this happens. 4 days later, April 8th, J. Cole shows up to a show, and he's rapping, and then he's talking to the people, and then he does the unspeakable act, which we can all look back now and understand why he did it. But he apologized. He apologized to his fans, and he apologized to Kendrick for actually going crazy and actually doing that 7-minute drill, light freestyle, because it was a little bit light, but he did say some ish in it though. But he then apologizes, and this is what he did, and this is how he said it.
That shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace. So what I want to say right here tonight is, in the midst of me doing that and in that shit, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness, I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking microphone? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I. So I just want to come up here and be like, publicly be like, bruh, That was the lamest, like goofiest shit. And I say all that to say it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, all good. Like, it's love. And I pray that, I pray.
Now, looking back at this J. Cole situation, I totally understand why he backed out of this situation. But it still was kind of weak because he could have kept going bar for bar. He can rap good too, right? Just saying. But anyways, moving forward, the world is now excluding J. Cole out of this situation. And now everybody's waiting for Drake. And then you have somebody like DJ Academics who decides to kind of jump in this thing and say, yo, Drake, you got to do something. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, da-da-da-da. We know he's the biggest Drake stan. No disrespect to him, because I think most of us are fans of Drake's music. I know a lot of y'all out there that are Kendrick fans. No, we not. Stop lying. Y'all niggas listen to Drake too. Stop it. But Drake finally responds. April 13th, 2024, Drake now steps up to the plate and he goes in and he starts talking crazy and he drop and give me 50, a shot at Kendrick, stating Kendrick's flaws and what's going on in his situation financially with TDE and how he gives up 50% of pretty much everything he makes to that label and to that company, not really having enough money and making enough money for himself. And not only did Drake do that, but Drake actually shot at Rick Ross. He shot at Ja Morant, out of all people. NBA talk. He shot at the Future. He shot at The Weeknd. And he shot definitely at Metro Boomin, which this famous line, which is probably my favorite line on this whole track. He says, and I actually like Drop and Give Him 50. That was a fire track to me. I liked it, and I know a lot of people liked it, giving a lot of the Drake fans and hip-hop fans in general a war, because you're like, everybody was like, man, J. Cole dropped out, Kendrick went crazy in the one verse, and ain't nobody else saying nothing. We got Future and Metro Boomin with their album, Still Don't Trust You. That's cool, but when is somebody else gonna get into this? And when Drake dropped this is when the war officially started, because he shot at everybody and went crazy on everybody. And it was this is one of them tracks that you can actually play in the clubs, and that's what made it relatable, and what made a lot of people decide to say, yo, we got us a war on our hands. And this is when everything starts moving very, very fast. Then later on in that same day, April 13 of 2024, Rick Ross then shoots back at Drake and responds back to him for Drake taking the shots at him and drop and Give Me 50. And Rick Ross pulls out an angle that nobody actually really spoke on, and that is he kind of pulled the race card. Yes, he did, saying that Drake grew up not really going through anything, and he grew up pretty much on his white side. He wasn't really accepted on the black side, and he wanted to be, the only time he wants to be black is when he needs things done, and when he needs to make money, and when it's convenient for him. But outside of that, he would prefer to be white, which was a crazy angle. When you hear him say this had a lot of people going crazy as well. It didn't get the biggest reaction as big as Drop and Give Him 50, because Drop and Give Him 50 was a bigger song or whatnot, because of the multitude of people that he was shooting at, that Drake was shooting at. But when it came to Rick Ross specifically, Rick Ross still did his thing, and a lot of people liked this track. And then next thing you know, a lot of people that didn't like Drake started talking, and A lot of people in the culture started calling him a white boy. This is crazy. Hey, yo, disclaimer, y'all. Hey, we have love for all races, all the different races out there. So don't play this and be like, oh, he's biased, just the one, da-da-da. Nah, we love everybody. But apparently Rick Ross still called him a white boy, and that was still funny as hell. I can't front. And it actually hit. That angle, it hit. But from there, it gets even crazier and it speeds up even faster. It gets so crazy out in the streets of music in general that Chris Brown drops a crazy diss track a few weeks later mentioning Quavo, which probably was one of the hardest diss tracks of this little small diss track era that we in. Ain't gonna front. Breezy did his thing. But then Quavo dropped a diss track that was kind of crazy too, that same week, and goes super crazy. And all of this energy is based off of a verse that happened back in March, which makes this super impactful, right? And not even to mention somebody else that actually dropped a diss track, Taylor Swift. Yeah, Taylor Swift dropped a diss track saying F you, Amy. F you, Amy. Then she said, thank you, Amy. Aiming at Kim Kardashian. And she was talking crazy. I know a lot of y'all in the hip hop world, we ain't listening to that, but I'm just saying this track era is very, very crazy. But before I get off track, let's get back to it. Next we had April 19th, 2024, Drake drops another referencing going off of his back-to-back entitled Tailor Made, where he did something that I've never seen done, that the culture has never seen done. He actually went AI. He used the Allen Iverson, aka artificial intelligence, to actually rhyme and talk his ish to Kendrick using Tupac, using Tupac's voice and using Snoop Dogg's voice. Uncle Snoop, he used your voice. And Uncle Snoop woke up talking about, I don't know what happened. What's going on? Why is everybody hitting me up? Shut up, Snoop. You still a legend though. You still my OG. But anyways, with that being said, Drake actually went at Kendrick and he actually used the first two verses for Pac and Snoop. And then he used the third verse for himself, pretty much getting at Kendrick, talking about this is what the OGs will be thinking about you. You having a war with yourself, etc. Kind of going a little crazy. I actually like Tailor Made. I know people, oh my gosh, this happened and that happened. But the track was so crazy that that you had some people, you had Tupac's family, his estate, should I say. They made Drake take it down, but it's still up in a lot of places and there's still a lot of reactions to that. Yes, it is. But Drake pretty much told Kendrick, yo, we waiting on you. You want to jump out the window and talk that crazy and come out with this track. This is what I got to say. And this is when it speeds up even faster. April 30th, 2024. Kendrick then drops his first official diss track song entitled Euphoria, which is a play off of a show that Drake actually executive produces on HBO. In this particular diss track, Kendrick cuts deep and he goes a little deeper and he talks about Drake and his past beefs, how he's a manipulator, and he has the Teddy P intro talking crazy. And in this track, he's not going too crazy, but he's letting Drake know, yo, I have a lot more information on you. Don't go too crazy and jump out the window. You have issues. You don't even finish all your beefs. And I like when you are you and I rock with you. And you're supposed to be one of my friends, but if you're not, then I'm going to go Y&W Melly, which was a crazy line stated by him, by the way. And then he picks at Drake's He picks at Drake's accent and Canadian slang that he used by trolling him by using the word crody, crody, crody. He kept saying it, which was a crazy playoff. And he actually he uses the Rick Ross angle as well, with Drake really having a war within himself about his white side and his black side. This was a masterful track. It switched up to 3 different beats, which he did well in all 3 different beats. And this is when everything started to look even crazier. And this is when everybody was like, oh my goodness, he just went back at Drake. Hey, the hourglass is back on you, because it took Drake 22 days to respond, where it took Kendrick 17 days. And Kendrick kept saying within this track, he kept saying, yo, you don't know I own OVO. You better watch some of them people around you, because, hey, I got some information that you don't like. And what did he do? He baited Drake. And once he baited Drake, a few days go by. May 3rd, 2024. Kendrick then drops 6:16 in LA, which with this particular track, it was 6:16 a.m. He decided to come out with another track aimed at Drake, where it was a dope sample, and he specifically he actually takes a shot at DJ Academics, as well as still basically talking about Drake and warning Drake once more, let this be it. You don't want no more. I'm trying to tell you, emphasis. Somebody in your circle has leaked information out about you. Kind of reminding the people as fans that, yo, remember when 40 Leak was pillow talking with somebody, and then Pusha T ended up knowing about different things about Drake, and next thing you know, the story of Adidon came out and all of this stuff. He was pretty much warning Drake, yo, you don't want another one of those, because this situation is still happening. And he had the people going crazy. This is just 2 days after Euphoria. This is just a few days after Euphoria, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, it was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But without further ado, of course, this is when another atomic bomb drops from here. A few hours later, Drake drops, OMG, Drake drops Family Matters. And not only did he drop the song, he had a video. And this is Drake pretty much saying, yo, I told you to leave me alone. You don't want this. I am him. And he goes crazy. And the visuals on the video, if y'all have not seen the Family Matters video, the good kid Mad City, like if you haven't seen that, he had the van, he crushes the van, he goes in on Kendrick. He's talking about Kendrick, well, specifically what he's saying about Kendrick, because he said something about Rick Ross, he said something about Future, he said a couple things about Metro. He went in on multiple people, but it was specifically about Kendrick. He was talking about Kendrick having issues with his wife, or his supposedly wife, or his girlfriend he's supposed to be married to, etc. Drake was going in, and then one of the craziest parts of that song was Dave Freeze. And then, oh my gosh, don't get me wrong, this track was super crazy. The beat switched up 3 times. I think that he did well on all 3 of the beats, because he tried to play off what Kendrick did in Euphoria in Euphoria, where the beat switched up multiple times and he kept going crazy. Especially in that second and third part of the song, Drake was going crazy, and the way that he elaborated of, you got stuff going on, you chasing me, and you still gotta pay. Dropping 50 band. Like, he was talking. Yes. And it's still May 3rd. This is a couple hours after 6:16 a.m. But you know what else happens after this, though? One of the most disrespectful diss tracks I've ever heard in my life. Kendrick backdoors him. And Kendrick backdoors him with Meet the Grams the same exact day. It is still May 3rd, 2024 when this is happening. And it's like Drake drops Family Matters, which you think is going to get steam, right? It was getting a little steam. But then when you drop Meet the Grams, literally like 30 to 45 minutes after that, this is when it gets a little dark, and this is when it goes from hip hop to some other ish. Because I know Drake took it there with his wife and all of that. Your kid might not be yours, and it might be your manager's. But this nigga Kendrick Lamar with this Meet the Grams, he starts to write a letter. He doesn't even talk directly to Drake until the last verse, but this verse is so crazy. This whole track is so crazy that his very first verse, he's talking to Adonis, which is Drake's son that he tried to hide originally. Then the second verse, he talks to Drake's mom, and then he talks to Drake's dad, and then he starts saying that your son is like Jeffrey Epstein out here. He out here like he on this Diddy right now. He a freak bull. This nigga called Drake a fan, and when he said a fan, you know what fan stands for? Freaky ass nigga. Boy, this nigga was talking. And then let's go to the third verse. The third verse, he wrote a letter talking to Drake's 11-year-old daughter, which a lot of people, Drake was like, nah, it was fake. I don't got no daughter. Pay me. Da-da-da-da-da. Saying all of this, right? He's saying all of this. But then, remember, he said the same thing about his song when Pusha T came out, like, yo, I don't know what you're talking about. And then now a lot of people are, nah, I don't know. It's just hip hop, right? It's just music. We don't know if it's real or not. But then they putting pictures out of this girl that her 11th. I think her name is Eternity. I think that's what her name is. Don't want to disrespect the young princess. Don't want to disrespect her, but yeah, he started that in the third verse, and then in the fourth verse, he talks to Drake and tells Drake, nigga, he said, fuck a battle rap, nigga. You in a battle, you forever with a battle in your life, with your own life, with yourself, and yeah, that diss track, oh my gosh, OMG, he went crazy, y'all. He went crazy, and this is when it starts to get super dark from here. Everybody's looking around like, what's going on? Why is this happening? And then everybody's starting to question Drake because he talks about Drake liking young girls and grooming young girls, and he wish he would die and all of that. Boy, Kendrick. All right, I'm trying to get through this whole thing, y'all, but I'm just saying, this was crazy. This whole situation was crazy. It went from I rap better than you, then to nigga, you a horrible person in real life. You don't even need to be alive. That's how crazy this, bro, I'm trying to say, y'all. But from here, from Meet the Grams being so disrespectful, this is when everything kind of speeds even faster forward, because mind y'all, this is all happening within a week span. All this stuff is happening within a week span. So a lot of people after this track was dropping and said, oh man, we can't listen to Kendrick Lamar, like he's lyrical, but we can't listen to these diss tracks and these songs because I can't play him in the club. I can't play him riding around in my car and all of that. So then Kendrick Lamar says, yo, DJ Mustard, holla at me real quick. And May 4th, 2024, Kendrick drops They Not Like Us, which is a certified club banger where he is talking to Drake's soul. And then this one, when he's talking about the Jeffrey Epstein and the pedophilia, him messing with the, with having like his friends around him that he's taking care of, that's messing with kids and been charged and are predators and all of that stuff, or sexual offenders and all of that stuff. On the actual thumbnail of this particular track that he dropped on YouTube, he has the sex offenders like emoji pictures on top of Drake's compound in Canada. Oh my gosh. And this track goes crazy. It goes crazy. He's talking to Drake and he's telling Drake about himself, and he's still calling, he's saying the names of the people around him. He's still saying that, yo, this is how I know this, and this is how I know that. And guess what? All y'all people saying that y'all can't jam my stuff in the club, or you can't really listen to this in the car, you can't really bop to my tracks. This is one for you. And DJ Mustard definitely put him on. He definitely put him on this track, and he goes crazy and he gets more in depth. And the track, he says a lot of different things on there, but the first thing that he said that got everybody is the playing strings, A minor. What? The double entendre, which hit super crazy. And then in the third verse, the last final verse of the song, he mentions how Drake, he uses Atlanta rappers, and how he only needs Atlanta rappers when he needs to learn something new about hip hop, and how he pretty much calls them a culture vulture, and he uses them for checks, and he named Future, he named 21 Savage taught him this, Lil Baby taught him this, Thugger had him feeling this way, 2 Chainz and all of that. Oh my God. And then went into the history. He went into the history of slavery, playing off of what Drake said, calling him a slave. And then he called Drake a colonizer. He said that you were doing the same thing that the colonizers did to the people of Atlanta when they took over the land and did all of that and colonized the people. This is what you've done to the culture of hip hop. This nigga went crazy. Pardon me, I know I'm supposed to be narrating right now, but I'm just trying to say all of this is crazy, y'all. This track was crazy, and that shit jumped. That shit bounced. And matter of fact, I just left Vegas and I was at a pool party and they was playing this song, and guess what? Everybody was freaking jamming to this at the pool party in Vegas. This was just 2 days ago. This is crazy. Yo. Anyways. Yeah, track is crazy. That was probably the best track out of like all of these disses to me. Out of all of these disses, that was the one. That wasn't the most disrespectful one. That's crazy. Kendrick had the most disrespectful, and he probably had the one that he had the drop and give him 50 was one of them ones too. But this one right here with this West Coast beat and everybody going crazy and jump, yeah, straight like that. But we not done, y'all. We not done, because Drake actually just recently dropped another one to counteract exactly what Kendrick was talking about. May 5th, 2024, one day later, Drake drops The Heart 6, which this track in particular it's supposed to be timestamp Drake, where Drake actually goes and he's talking about how Kendrick took it too far, and then he states that he had a double agent, meaning that he told a few people from his camp to reach out to Kendrick and feed him bad information or not real information, and how he started and he knew what was coming, and he's pretty much bowing out gracefully because he He said that you got too personal, and he knew that you were going to use the pedophilia angle and all of that stuff and yada yada, which was cool. This track wasn't bad. It was okay, but like kind of sounded a little crazy. I can't front. And me being a Drake, a Drake fan, not a freaky ass nigga, just a fan, like a normal like fanatic, not a freaky ass nigga. Not what Kendrick was talking about, but just being an actual fan. I was like, I was like, yeah, the fans need it. But me being a Kendrick Lamar fan, the other side was like, bro, you address some things, but then Drake mentioned how Kendrick Lamar was being the reason why he calling Drake a beard and all of that, and all of the crazy nonsense, as he said, is because he probably was touched on and he thought about a track that Kendrick had from Mr. Morale about, and then he started talking about his wife and all of that, him being a woman beater and all of that stuff. And what's crazy? What's crazy about this track, which was made it kind of disappointing, was when Drake did come out when Drake said all of this stuff in The Heart Part 6. If you go back and listen to that Kendrick track, which I went back and listened to, he wasn't talking about himself at all in that. So that's kind of was crazy. And then like when you start talking about his wife and him putting his hands on his wife, his wife's brother, he explains on that him and his wife are broken up because of his personal issues, but it didn't have nothing to do with him putting his hands on it. If he put hands on his wife, then why is her brother like, yeah, go Kendrick, get this nigga up out of there, and calling and actually tweeting out like yeah, Drake lying and all of that? Why is this happening? Why is he? Because if a nigga putting his hands on my sister, and most of y'all that's listening, if a nigga put his hands on y'all sister, y'all niggas ain't gonna be retweeting them, telling them, yeah, get this nigga out of here and all of that. Yeah, y'all wouldn't be doing that with y'all. Just saying. But I have no horse in this race because I'm a fan of both. I'm a fan of all three. Shout out to J. Cole, even though J. Cole bowed out gracefully. I know. But that was the actual final diss track. And yeah, this track was alright. But I say that to say this. It's so crazy out here on these streets. And if you can rewind all the way back to the very, very beginning, one verse got all the way to this point. It took one verse, and not just the country, but the world is watching this. And there's so many problems in the world happening right now, so many crazy things happening. But as everything happening around the world, whether you start, when niggas is talking about aliens, when niggas talking about fake food, when niggas talking about wars, where all of this shit is happening, nigga, hip hop is still running this thing. Why? Because the diss track era is back. Kendrick had one verse on Like That had us talk all the way to this point and started a whole new chain of events, which got the culture kind of lit. And it's so lit that now like people are starting to rap again. It's not just harmonizing and stuff on songs. No disrespect to y'all harmonizing ass niggas. No disrespect to y'all. But now niggas is rapidly rapping again. Salute to Kendrick Lamar. Salute to Drake. Salute to J. Cole. Salute to Rick Ross. Salute to Metro Boomin them. Future them. Get us back lit. Salute to the Swifties. Salute to Taylor Swift for shooting, for coming out with a diss as well. Who is it? Quavo. Chris Brown. C Breezy. All of y'all. The Weeknd. ASAP Rocky. All of these niggas was shooting during this time. But I think Kendrick said it best. He said, yo, thank you, Cat Williams. It's time to expose these niggas. You right. This is what 2024 is about. So if you got skeletons in your closet or it's allegations and we got beef, nigga, we taking it to battle rap. Because ain't nobody been killed or shot yet, which is a blessing. But anyways, I got to get up out of here, man. But one verse definitely impacted the culture, and I can't wait to see if there's more. And hopefully everybody keep it on wax. This your guy BA for Real 100. This is Get Your Bars Up Media. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. You rock with me, I rock with you. And if you out there hating just because you think I'm a new guy and you just not something upon my channel and I've been doing this for a minute, and all I can truly say is thank you for coming and get your bars up. Salute, subscribe, all that good stuff. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this chain of events that's been happening within the world of hip-hop, especially with one verse jumping out to multiple different songs and responses. Me, I think the culture lit, and I kind of feel like Kendrick is probably going to drop one more, even though he doesn't have to. And salute to Drake for standing up. And my apologies to J. Cole. Good thing, because I can see why you didn't want that smoke. You didn't want to get exposed by anything anyway, right? Even though both of these niggas keep shooting at you, calling you weak. Just saying, Mr. Jermaine Cole. Mr. Jermaine Cole. Anyways, peace and love, y'all. We out. Catch y'all on the next one. Holla.